My modern and unstoppable seniors, let me ask you something important. Have you ever walked into someone's home feeling fine and walked out hours later completely drained, heavy, and a little more hopeless than when you arrived? It's not just in your head. And it's not because you're aging. There are homes and people that drain your spirit like a leaky bucket. And after the age of 65, your peace of mind, your energy, and your inner balance are more precious than ever before. Because at this stage in life, we're not here to impress. We're not here to tolerate bad vibes. We're here to protect our wisdom, honor our emotional health, and live with intention. And that starts with where you go and who you allow into your personal energy field. Today, we're going to talk about 4 types of people you must avoid visiting, because each one slowly chips away at your spirit, confidence, and joy. These aren't just toxic people. These are the people who disguise their harm as hospitality. So let's begin with the first home you need to stop entering, even if you've known this person for decades. 1. The home of the past dweller. You know this person. Every time you visit, they pull you into a time machine that only travels one direction, backwards. And not in a nostalgic, warm-hearted way. No, this is the person who keeps replaying your past mistakes, brings up your regrets like they're juicy stories, and reminds you, either subtly or directly, of everything you used to be, but no longer. How you might be sipping tea on their couch, but the real menu is guilt, shame, and silent judgment. They'll say things like, "You were so active back then, what happened to you now? Remember when you lost that job? That was such a tough time for you. Your health was so much better before. Those were your glory days." They think they're reminiscing, but you're absorbing emotional poison, sip by sip, smile by smile. And the worst part? You might start believing that your best days are behind you. That's the danger. That's the trap. Let me tell you this, my modern and unstoppable seniors, your story is not done. You are not a fading memory. You are the living, breathing author of this chapter of your life. If someone's home is a shrine to your past failures or lost youth, walk out with your head held high and don't look back. You've grown too wise to let anyone freeze your progress in time. Why this matters now at 65 and beyond, we start noticing that energy is currency. Time is not something we just kill, it's something we invest. And just like we wouldn't throw our savings into a bad investment, we shouldn't throw our presence into places that don't value our evolution. So let me ask you again, why are you still going to homes that make you feel like a shadow of yourself? You are not here to be reminded of who you were. You are here to celebrate who you are becoming, even now, especially now. The first house to avoid is the one that treats your growth like a funeral and your past like gospel. My modern and unstoppable seniors, let's keep this conversation flowing with the second type of home you must avoid. And this one is sneaky, because on the outside it might look welcoming. Cozy chairs, warm smiles, maybe even your favorite snack waiting on the table. But what happens once you sit down? The entire room turns into a stage, and you become the unpaid therapist. This is the home of the emotional drainer. 2. The home of the emotional dumper. These people don't ask how you're doing. They're too busy using you as a dumping ground for their every complaint, every fear, and every unresolved issue. The moment you sit, they unload. "You have no idea how much pain I'm in lately. Everything's going wrong with my kids, my job, my life. You think you're tired? Listen to this." You offer kind words, a listening ear, but it's never enough, because they don't want comfort. They want a container to pour their sadness into, and that container is you. And before you know it, the room feels heavy. Your chest feels tight, and you're leaving that house feeling like someone attached emotional bricks to your back. Let me be clear, there is nothing wrong with being a good listener. In fact, as seniors, our wisdom makes us incredible sounding boards. But there's a big difference between being supportive and being someone's emotional sponge. Because here's what happens over time. You start to carry problems that aren't yours. You begin to shrink your own emotions, thinking, they're dealing with worse, who am I to complain? And worst of all, you lose sight of your own needs because you're too used to holding up someone else's sky. Your peace is not. Selfish, my modern and unstoppable seniors, protecting your energy doesn't make you unkind. It makes you wise. We were raised to be generous, helpful, humble, But no one taught us how to say, "I'm not available for this kind of conversation right now. I love you, but I can't carry all of this for you." Let's talk about something lighter today. You are not required to be the village well that everyone draws from when they're empty, because the truth is, some people don't want to feel better. They just want to drag you into the emotional pit so they don't feel alone down there. And after 65, you've earned the right to say, "No more." You've spent decades helping others. Now it's time to help yourself stay centered, strong, and emotionally light. So if someone's home makes you feel like you're walking into a therapy session you never signed up for, it's time to gently, lovingly distance yourself. Your peace is sacred. Don't trade it for guilt. My modern and unstoppable seniors, let's keep building this path of wisdom with the third home you need to steer clear of after 65. This one might look fun at first, lively, energetic, always something going on, but beneath the noise and glitter, you'll find a storm that never settles. I'm talking about the home of the chaos creator. 3. The home that feeds on drama. You walk in, and it feels like walking straight into a television soap opera, but it's real life, and the plot is messy. Someone's shouting in the other room. There's tension in the air, like something just happened or is about to happen. Gossip fills the kitchen like the smell of burnt toast. The chaos creator lives for conflict. They thrive on stirring the pot, keeping others on edge, and dragging innocent people like you into battles that don't belong to you. They say things like, "Did you hear what your cousin said about you? I don't want to cause trouble, but you really need to know what so-and-so is doing behind your back. If you loved me, you'd take my side." This isn't connection. It's manipulation wrapped in family ties, friendships, or neighborly smiles. Don't let their chaos become your normal. My modern and unstoppable seniors, after 65, your nervous system deserves calm. You've fought life's battles. You've raised families, weathered storms, paid your dues. You're not meant to keep getting dragged into other people's messes. You didn't retire to be a referee, but chaos has a sneaky way of pulling you in, especially if you were the peacekeeper. Your whole life, they know you're the one who tries to fix things, so they use you like emotional glue to hold their drama together. But the more time you spend in that environment, the more you start to believe, maybe I do need to get involved. Maybe I should pick sides. Maybe this is just how family works. But it's not. That's not love. That's not connection. That's confusion and toxicity disguised as urgency. Calm is your natural state. You see, after a certain age, the greatest luxury isn't money. It's peace. The ability to sit with your tea in the morning and not feel like the sky is falling. The freedom to enjoy a quiet evening without someone trying to suck you into emotional warfare. So if their home constantly feels like a battlefield, no matter how long you've known them, how close they are, or how much history you share, it's okay to step back. You're not abandoning them. You're choosing your well-being. And my modern and unstoppable seniors, let me say this clearly. Calm isn't boring. Drama isn't passion. Peace isn't weakness. It's maturity. It's strength. It's your reward for making it this far. My modern and unstoppable seniors, we've arrived at the fourth and final type of home you must avoid after 65. This one doesn't look dangerous on the surface. No yelling, no obvious conflict, no open hostility. In fact, the person might smile warmly when they open the door. They might even say, "It's so good to see you." But within an hour, your spirit feels drained. Your shoulders slump. Your mind gets cloudy. You walk out of that house heavier. 4. The home of the emotional leech. This person is what we lovingly call an energy vampire. They might not throw things or cause scenes, but they pull from you constantly. Their home is a place where you end up listening to hours of complaints with no pause, get guilt-tripped into staying longer or doing more, feel like your time, energy, and emotional space are never enough. They always have a problem, a crisis, a reason why they can't cope unless you step in. They might say, "You're the only one who understands me. If you leave, I don't know what I'll do. I just need to talk for a bit. Can you stay another hour?" That bit turns into your entire afternoon, and sometimes your peace for the week. You're not a battery to be drained. Here's something we often forget, my modern and unstoppable seniors. Being a good person doesn't mean being available to everyone. You're Life force isn't a public resource. That's sacred, and you don't owe anyone your energy, especially those who misuse it. This isn't about abandoning people who are truly struggling. It's about setting a boundary when someone consistently refuses to grow and expects you to carry their weight. It's not your job to keep their world from falling apart. Choose uplifting spaces, not draining ones. At this point in your life, your circle should feel like a garden, not a battlefield. You should walk into a room and feel lighter, not tense. You deserve to be around people who laugh with you, not at you, share stories, not complaints, inspire, not deplete, celebrate life's little joys with you, not just mourn their own sorrows. You've done your share of caretaking. Now it's time to care for yourself. If a home always feels heavy, if your gut tightens before you even knock on the door, that's not intuition lying to you. It's your wisdom speaking, and that wisdom has been earned. Final words. From Wellness for Modern Seniors, my modern and unstoppable seniors, we've explored 4 types of homes to avoid, not because of judgment, but because of self-preservation. The bitter recluse, the complaining critic, the chaos creator, and the energy vampire. You've earned your freedom, your clarity, your joy. You are allowed to protect it. You are allowed to choose peace. You are allowed to walk away from what ruins you, because the most powerful choice after 65 is not just where you go, but who you let into your heart. And remember, here on Wellness for Modern Seniors, we don't just survive aging. We do it with wisdom, with pride, and on our terms. Keep shining, keep choosing peace, and always walk where your spirit feels welcome.